Hey guys, my name is Charles Furtado. I'm a local musician, percussionist, music educator. I'm here in Maggie Valley at Different Drummer Pottery today, and I'm here to show you this awesome drum. This is called a Crock Drum. To me, it's kind of like if an udu and a cajon had a baby here with the wood top and the hole, and this beautiful ceramic work here. So I'm going to show you some different sounds on this drum, and thanks for joining us. So some of those rhythms that I were just playing were made up in the moment, and other rhythms I learned through different teachers. I like to study drums and rhythms and cultures from all over the world. And so at the end there, I was playing some Middle Eastern rhythms that I use a lot with a lot of really talented belly dancers in the area. So I'll kind of maybe now show you some sounds you can get out of this drum. And there's tons of sounds you can get. The cool thing about any instrument, but especially a new instrument, is there's no wrong way to play it. It's just about being creative. So I myself have found that I like to turn the whole side to face me, so it's more of a symmetrical approach. And I'll show you just a couple sounds you can get here. This is a nice pitched bass sound. It's a very pure tone, and I'm using my fingertip because there's less surface area, so as I throw a heavy fingertip down, you're getting less of the contact sound and more of the pitch of the drum. Also, what I like to do is a muted bass stroke, which is in Middle Eastern music that's called a pa. The just regular unmuted bass stroke would be a doom, and this would be a pa. So I'm kind of trying to show you the sounds as I also show you how I apply Middle Eastern rhythms. So then there's a couple mid-range sounds. These are a nice sound there. And in Middle Eastern rhythms, there are these strokes called tex and cuz. And so I use my tex and my cuz either here, or there's a nice higher tone here for accents or solos. That's a really good high pitch. So far we've got the bass stroke with that nice pitch. We've got the muted bass. Pitch is a little higher. You've got your mid-range, where I'm doing my tecas. And then you've also got your higher tone there. You can hear the ceramic in that. It's pretty nice. So now maybe I'll show you how I'm playing those Middle Eastern rhythms. So you've got your doom, you've got your tex is usually your right hand, so either tex here or here. You've got your cuz, same stroke, just on your left hand, and then you've got your pa. So one rhythm that I was playing is called the bellady, and the way that we say bellady is doom doom tekka pa, doom tekka pa tekka. That's one time through, and if you loop that, it turns into a nice groove. I'll play it really slow as I say it. Doom doom tekka pa, doom tekka pa tekka, doom doom tekka pa, doom tekka pa tekka. You can apply rhythms from all over the world on this drum, and that's one thing that makes it so cool. Maybe I could show you a few Latin grooves I like to play on this drum now. also play African rhythms on this drum. What I really like about having a middle range sound and then a higher range sound, neither of which being bass, is in African djembe music, West African music, you have slaps and tones on a djembe. So I kind of think of this as the bass. Or one sound I left out is, depending on the size of your hand, you can set a piece of your hand, maybe the bottom of my palm, and then if you hit here, the fact that your hand is over the hole gives you a nice opportunity to get a really wet bass sound, almost like you'd get on an udu or on a tabla. And then, so if I tapped here and altered where my hand was distance-wise from the hole, it's going to change that pitch. So cool. While I'm thinking about other sounds you can get from this drum, you can also get a nice muted pop sound on the side. And it's a little different depending on which part of the drum you're at. And I really like to use my fingertips not only here for this pure bass tone, but for rolls, or a nice little flourish before a pop. If you put your hand over that hole, it's going to change that pitch. I'd say generally for me personally, this is more of a fingertip drum than a full hand drum. Having played djembe and cajon where you are using more of your hands, you can do that a little bit on this drum, but I almost, as I'm doing that, I'm thinking about coming off of this hole. You're going to get more sound because you're using so much of your hand that you're actually going to kind of mute a lot of that sound if you don't come away from it really quick. Nice little conundrum there. So maybe I'll show you a few African rhythms, just thinking about this being the bass like it would be on a djembe, this being the tone, and this being the slap.